Thanks to Printify for sponsoring today's video. I've said this many times before, but one of the most powerful tools you have to start getting more sales in your print-on-demand business is getting more designs uploaded. Now, there are a lot of steps when it comes to actually going through the product creation process in your print-on-demand business. So while it sounds really simple to just say do 5 or 10 new designs every single day, upload those, and you'll start making money, there's a lot of work that comes into actually researching, creating, uploading, writing the SEO, titles and descriptions for that to create one new product. But this really is the thing that moves the needle in your business. Now, what I found that a lot of times the part that is holding so many people back is that initial research process, finding those niches that have low competition and high demand that are going to get sales. Now, there are tons of different tools out there. There are several that I talk about all the time. I will link them here, and I still do love using some kind of research tool. It does really cut back on the time that it's going to take to find really high quality, low competition niches. But there are just some of those days that you want something that is going to make that barrier to making your products for the day even lower. So on the days where I just don't feel like I have the mental capacity to go through researching new products, or I just want to get my designs out fast, maybe because I have something going on, or I have other projects that I'm working on. Now, there is kind of a secret method that I have been using for a long time that I've created guides to help myself actually go through and do, but I want to share that with you guys today and exactly how you can use this free tool to find endless niches that aren't just generic things with tons of competition. This is going to be perfect for those days where you just have no inspiration, you don't know where to start, or maybe you're new to print on demand and you don't really understand the whole concept of finding sub-niches and cross-niching items instead of just going for those really broad categories. So I'm going to take you through this tool, show you how fast you can find your 5 to 10 niches for the day. Uploading between 5 and 10 products is going to be one of the most important things that you can do to grow your print-on-demand business. If you are posting 10 new items a day, that is well above 3,000 new designs and products in your print-on-demand shops by the end of the year. This is one of the most important steps in growing your print-on-demand business to a 5 or 6 figure store is getting more designs up. If you're only making 1 designs or no designs every single day, it's going to be a lot harder for you to get traction, find your best sellers, and to get noticed on bigger sites like Amazon and Etsy. So let's head on over so I can show you the tool that I use. Now, this right here is my free cross-niching and sub-niching guide. It's going to be linked down below so you guys can download it for free and even follow along with this if you want to. I have actually printed out my copy here. My printer did run out of yellow ink, so it looks a little bit funny, but you can either print it off or you can just use it, download it on your computer as a guide there. This guide, it is filled with a bunch of different print-on-demand niches. Now, when we talk about a niche, we are talking about that broad category that something is in. So many of the niches in this guide are going to be things like upcoming holidays. They're going to be careers, hobbies, types of family relationships. You have even like dog breeds, cat breeds. So there are so many different big categories that you can draw from. Now, a mistake that I see so many new print-on-demand sellers making, and even people who have been at this for a long time but aren't getting traction, is they are just trying to target these broader categories. So maybe they see that figure skating designs are selling really, really well. So what they do is they create a bunch of different designs based on figure skating without taking a look and seeing that there is a lot of competition in that niche. So it's going to be much harder for them to break in and make money. But that doesn't mean that that might not be a good niche for them to actually go after. They just have to take a more narrow approach to be able to bring down that competition and target a very specific customer. So what something like this guide is going to do, it is going to help you take that broader sport of figure skating and it's going to cross it with some other category. So maybe we look at holidays and we think about, okay, Christmas designs do really well. What if we crossed figure skating with Christmas and created a figure skating and Christmas design? So I'm going to head over to the holiday category and we're going to take a look at what are some upcoming holidays. All right, so if you are watching this right now, it is currently August, so you might be really tempted to go to the August category and start looking at all the holidays that are here. But one of the best pieces of advice for print-on-demand sellers is you want to always be working ahead. My rule of thumb is generally going to be about 2 months ahead. But if you start working on designs, especially for some big holidays, 3 months in advance, you're going to be perfect too. So with it being August right now, the earliest types of holidays we want to be looking at is going to be October, but we can even venture into November since it is mid-August right now. So let's go down to October. Now, the holidays that we have coming up for here are the big ones definitely are going to be Halloween. I have a whole video right here on cross-niching other niches with Halloween. That is a really fun video. But there's lots of other holidays and national days too. But let's take a look at November and see what we can start working on to cross-niche with some of these November holidays. So we have All Saints Day, Dia de los Muertos, we have All Souls Day. General elections are coming up in November, especially for next year. This is a really great thing to start preparing for. Veterans Day, Caregiver Appreciation Day. Thanksgiving Day is definitely going to be a big one. We have Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, Cyber Monday. All right, so to show you how this is going to work, we're going to pick a few different categories and cross them. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take Halloween is a big seller for me. This is a great niche to start getting into if you're new to see a lot of traction. So I am going to take the holiday of Halloween and I want to cross it with something either like a hobby or I'm thinking maybe even a dog breed. So let's go on our guide down to both of those. So this is careers right here. We might come back to that, family relationships, and pet types. So let's look at these dog breeds and think about one we could cross with Halloween. So poodles could be a really fun one. Bulldogs, beagles could be really fun. Dachshunds. You know what? I think I am going to cross Halloween with a dachshund. Maybe we can make some really fun Halloween designs with like a dachshund, either dressed up in a cute Halloween outfit, maybe with some pumpkins. So now that we have that idea, we are taking two categories that sell really, really well. Dog owners, they love to buy items that are all about their dog or their dog breed. And so if we can make Halloween designs specifically for a certain dog type owner, those can do really, really well. So let's head over to our design suite and start thinking about what kind of design we can create for this Halloween and dachshund design. All right, so I am over on Kittle, which is typically my design suite of choice just because they have so many really fun templates. There's honestly some awesome ones for Halloween right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look up Halloween just to see if there's something we can get started with. All right, so there are some fun groovy ones right here. I love those ghosts right there. There's this skeleton dancing one. Just some really fun different designs. And after looking for a minute, I think that I want to go with this design. So kind of having the cat on there gave me a good idea that we could use a dachshund there. So I'm actually going to go ahead and just delete this cat right there. And now sometimes it's tricky for these hyper specific things to find the exact pre-made graphics that you need. So that is where AI is going to be super powerful for using a tool like this. So I'm actually going to go over to Kittle's AI feature right here, and I'm going to start describing the type of image that I want to see for this Halloween dachshund design. All right, so I just went ahead and looked up the dachshund wearing a witch hat for Halloween, and then I'm going to pick this kawaii style. Now, if that doesn't work, we can try a few different options and try to come up with something really great. All right, so this is what it came up with initially, which is super cute. Now I'm going to show you a few of the things that I like to do when I do get this AI artwork. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that background just so we have the image to work with. And now I am going to go down to the image vectorizer, which this is going to allow me to actually change the different colors of this design. So I'm going to pick that I want this to have maybe 5 different colors, and I'm going to push vectorize the image. All right, so now we can go over here and we can actually change the colors a little bit. So what I might do is I like some of this purple and orange kind of darker colors that this has. So instead of this really bright purple, I might change this to be that darker purple. So I'm going to pick the dropper here, change that, and then I'm just going to change the puppy's orange color to be this one here so it matches. And then let's see if we like maybe white for that here. And then this is already looking super cute, and we made this super fast and easy. And then I'm going to go ahead and send that to the back. And then I'm just going to move around some of these elements until I'm happy with how it looks. All right, and I'm just to match this a little bit more, I'm going to add a border to this. All right, now I'm just going to go ahead and resize this to take up more of the canvas. All right, and then once we're happy, we're just gonna go over to our downloads here. And then I like to change this to pixels. And then typically I wanna make sure that it's at least 4,500 in width. And then I'm going to remove the background here. And as long as it's enough pixels for your platform, you don't have to worry about changing the DPI. All right, now that our design is complete, we can take it to Printify to upload to our Etsy shop. So we are just going to go to the shirt we're going to use and click Start Designing. Now all we have to do is drag and drop our downloaded artwork right here. And then we can select the other colors that we would prefer to have this on. So I really like the sand color. And then we can preview what that's going to look like on the actual mock-up. Super cute. All right, so now that we've picked out one of our first niches, we're gonna go back over to my guide and we're gonna look for some other ideas of what we could start making. All right, so we are back on the holidays, and you don't always have to pick a holiday and cross it with something else. You could do something like cross a dog breed with a career or a hobby with a family relationship. But this is just a really great one. Holidays sell really, really well. So I like to get a lot of inspiration by crossing a different holiday with some other sub niche. So let's look at some of the other days that we have coming up here in the next few months. So if we are looking past October and into November, definitely the big ones that stand out are going to be like Thanksgiving, which that is a great niche to target. So many Thanksgiving Day designs sell, which this often seems to be like an overlooked holiday. People really go for designs for Halloween and for Christmas, but there is a sweet spot right in the middle there where you can make a lot of money selling Thanksgiving designs. But I'm gonna go with a little bit of a smaller celebrated day. So that is going to be Small Business Saturday. I see so many small business owners promoting this all the time. It seems like it's getting even bigger, which I think that is great, especially if you are a print-on-demand seller, you're technically a small business owner yourself. So this is just a great thing to remember after everyone is doing their Black Friday shopping, spending a lot of money at these big box stores. So that is going to be my category. I'm going to put a little check on that. In fact, I'm actually going to put a little check here. So let's do Small Business Saturday. So we check that. This is basically how you would use it on your computer too. And then now let's look and see what we can do in terms of something to cross it with. So since it's small business, I'm probably not going to cross it with career, but you know what a good one might be is these family relationships. So that is kind of confusing when I said family relations, but what I just mean is like those names that we call our family members, or just the types of family members. So think aunt, uncle, grandma, grandpa, mom, dad. And another thing I love to pay attention to is while you might have so many different designs that have maybe the word mom or mama in them, sometimes by using these more uncommon names, there's a little bit more demand because they can't find these, especially when we get to the grandparent name. So a lot of designs say grandma, grandpa, but there are so many kids that call their grandparents more unique names. So I always like to make versions of my shirts that have kind of these more unique grandparent names like Papa or Gigi, something like that. So I think what I want to do is I want to cross one of the mom names with maybe being a small business owner. There's a lot of moms and women who have small businesses. So let's use actually mom. So you don't see as many shirts that have the word mom on them. And again, you could make this design that I'm going to make and you could just swap it out for maybe 10 different versions using all of these different mommy names. So this is a great way to get scalable design ideas too. Now let's head back over to Kittl and we're going to start looking for a template that we can come up with a good phrase for. All right, so I am just going to scroll through these and see if I can find something that maybe sticks out. Like I really love that groovy style, you guys know that. So this could be something we could do. And the phrase I'm thinking about possibly targeting is going to be maybe something like I'm a mom and a small business owner, nothing scares me. That's kind of a common phrase that we see, but not really crossed with that small business niche. So we want a template that's going to have a decent amount of text on it that we can replace. This could possibly work. It might not have enough different lines of text. All right, so after looking for a second, I think I want to take something like this with some interesting text on it and use it for our design. All right, so right away, I'm just going to go ahead and delete this texture so it would print better on something like a t-shirt. And then I'm just going to start switching out the text here. All right, so I've changed all the text. Now I definitely just want to rearrange this to make it look a bit better. All right, now I'm just going to change a little bit of the coloring for this. I want to see what this looks like maybe on a black t-shirt, so I'm going to change that. I'm going to add maybe a border to some of these letters just so it's a little bit easier to read. All right, and you definitely could play around with that more, but I'm just gonna go ahead and download this as it is. So I'm gonna go over to my downloads. Again, I'm going to switch it to pixels and make sure it's at least 4,500 width. And then we're gonna remove that background and download as a PNG. All right, so I have my guide back out and I am just scrolling through these careers. I'm going to be looking for one that we could possibly target. And I think maybe the one that I want to do is actually going to be dentist. There are so many different designs for doctors and nurses, and definitely a lot for dentists too, but I found that this is a great niche to target. A lot of times people love to wear t-shirts around or give these as gifts to maybe someone with a career that they know. So there is so much money to be made in targeting people's careers. It's definitely one of the things that they are most passionate about besides their family and maybe their hobbies. So let's think about dentist, and then we could do something like crossing dentist with maybe a dog breed or cat breed, or a hobby like you could do pickleball or basketball. Those could all be really great designs. Or again, we could go back up to our holidays, think about what's coming up for the rest of the year. And definitely the one that you want to start working on, even probably now, start thinking about it, is going to be Christmas. So there is probably the most money to be made in Christmas designs. This is always where I see a huge spike in my profit every single year. I start selling Christmas designs even before October sometimes. So this is one that is on people's minds for months. So let's try to make a Christmas themed dentist shirt. Now let's go back over to Kittle and see if we can find a design to start with. All right, so back on Kittle, I'm just gonna go ahead and look up Christmas to see what their Christmas designs are looking like. We don't have to use one of these, but it's always nice to start with. So there are so many fun Christmas designs on here. Definitely you can come on here and just get a lot of inspiration, but any of these you could just take the generic Christmas design and then cross it with some other career, hobby, pet that you find in this list. So having kind of some tools that give you some shortcuts like a niche guide and a tool like Kittle is going to help you create niches and designs super fast. All right, so kind of the one that is sticking out is this one right here. So I don't think we're actually going to use the Santa face, but it gives us a good place to start. First, I'm going to get rid of this texture here. And then I have been thinking about what I want this to say. So we could definitely just say like one jolly dentist, or we could say something a little more generic, like maybe oh dentistry, like that song. So we could do like oh dentistry, oh dentistry. So I think I actually might try that. And I think that's a little too close together. So I'm gonna make the font even smaller. Okay, so we have oh dentistry, oh dentistry. So that means we definitely want something that's going to immediately make this seem like it's going to be a shirt for dentists or those who work in a dental office. So let's just go ahead and look and see what kind of dentist elements they already have. Okay, so tooth could be a good way to go. Let's just save him here. I don't know if we're gonna use him, but he's pretty cute. That's just the other version, which I think I might like that better. Okay, so we are going to maybe use this little guy here. All right, so I'm going to ungroup this Santa here. I'm going to go ahead and remove him. And then we are going to start playing around with making this tooth actually look Christmassy. So I'm going to go ahead and put him in here. And then I'm just going to change some of the colors to be the colors that are already in this. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and look for some more Christmassy elements. So I'm going to look for a Santa hat that maybe we can put on him. Okay, so after looking at these, I think I am going to use this type of hat, and then I'm just going to flip it, start playing around with putting it actually on. And then we're probably going to send this to the back so you can make sure you can read it. But I just want to make sure that it looks good. And then I'm just going to change it to this color here. And then another thing I'm going to do just to kind of match the style of this is I want to start adding a border maybe. I'm going to pick this color here just so it kind of matches the letters a little bit more. And then I think I'll do the same thing with this hat here. And that's just going to make the styles match a little bit better. And then now we're going to go ahead and send this backwards. All right, and then once we're happy with it, again, we can go ahead and download this using those settings we did before. And then we're good to go. We have a really hyper-specific design for dentist at Christmas time. Now, the cool thing about this guide is in it, if you are crossing niches and you are sub-niching, there are over 40,000 unique niches in this guide here. So on any day that you just don't have any inspiration, you don't know where to start researching, or you just don't want to put in the time that it takes to actually go through one of those other research channels, you can just grab your guide, quickly check off 10 different ideas, and there you go. You have all of your 10 niches for that day. So make sure you are getting this completely free guide. It's linked down below. All you have to do is sign up there for my newsletter and it'll be delivered straight to your inbox. And I really hope this is a great tool for you guys to come up with some more awesome ideas and to actually start making more designs every single day so you can move the needle in your business and see some huge results this Q4. Now, if you feel like you have the niche thing down, but you want to figure out how to design faster, I'm going to link this video here where I designed 10 unique designs in just 10 minutes. It's going to really help you guys with some tips of how to design and make multiple designs very fast in your business. So again, you can just be uploading more products, making more money and more sales. Thanks so much for watching this video, and I will see you in my next one.